Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And today we are looking at some groundbreaking news coming out of the archaeology world that ancient Greeks arrived in Iceland before the Vikings, according to a brand new theory that is fresh off the presses.
Yeah. Yes. This theory came out on just the very 1st of April this year. So it is one of the most important theories of the year for archaeology.
Yeah, just two
Um,
weeks ago. It's so fresh. It's brand new.
yes. Um, so now this theory is based not so much on the physical archaeological evidence, but on another form of evidence often used by archaeologists to interpret and understand cultures, and that is comparative archaeology, where we are looking into similarities between two cultures in an effort to find common threads that might possibly explain certain ties they may have to each other. In this case, mythology, symbolism, linguistics, things like that are being employed in the absence of direct archaeological artifacts.
Does this article hit a little close to home there? Are you trying to vent? Are you lashing out?
I'm not that. No, I'm not at all. But it is this article, as fun as is a good point to talk about some of the dangers of speculative and comparative archaeology. As much as I do enjoy comparative archaeology, there is certain boundaries that must be observed that are purposely not being observed by this article,
You mean
which makes it a very fun theory.
you're not employing the same speculative theories in your own research?
Justin, I've not published a single freaking paper on this. How would you know?
Cuz I know your research behind the
Just
scenes.
yes, I am a comparative archaeologist. It is what I do. However, I compare systems rather than saying these two cultures shared a word, therefore same culture.
Gee, it's not like a bunch of European
Oh.
languages actually come from a very distinctive what would you call it? Indo-European language.
Yes, the
Nah, that doesn't
Indo-European
sound
branch.
right. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
is yeah. I'm gonna fight you all.
Anyways,
People like
so
oscillate between attacking me and being facetious. Pick a side.
Never.
well, Mr. Comparative Archaeologist, explain to us now why were the Greeks there before the Vikings, and how do we know this?
Yeah. So the hmm. so the Vikings. I'm just scrolling through the article, just trying not to have a mental breakdown. watching actual archaeologists do my type of archaeology poorly on purpose. I'm just yeah.
How do you think I
I'm
feel
just
about?
having a time. I suggested we do this. I'm just having a time now that we're in the middle of it.
Oh, good
I
Lord.
just love
Everything.
watching you guys have a breakdown now, especially because like my whole thesis was literally this: watching people do what I'm doing, but poorly.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Just
hurts, man.
enjoying
This hurts
this.
more than our
So
spreadsheet.
yeah. So yes, the idea is so there was a Greek famous famous explorer, astronomer, geographer. His name is uh Pythias. He wrote about he wrote about a lot of his explorations, shall we say. Um one of which mentions an island north of, what we now understand to be England, according to this article.
Huh. What island is north of England?
Orkney.
Or Iceland?
Yeah.
So are the Shetlands.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
you're talking. Those islands are Scottish property, so
I am
I would probably ask you to leave those be.
Okay, what about
I'm loving
Svalbard?
this.
Ah, fix Svalbard. Except for their seed vault, which we actually did an explains on.
Ah, plug.
Hey, I'll give you Lindisfarne.
Don't
Who's a
talk
what's
about
up?
Lindisfarne. No, Linda. Shut. We don't talk about Lindisfarne.
Why not? There's Vikings involved both times.
We already have an episode planned for Danelaw.
Oh yes, Danelaw, yes. But yes, there is a comparison between a Greek word thule, which the article talks about being a mistranslation of themele or altar, which would be what the southern coast of Iceland resembles, a giant altar rising out of the ocean. Um, as you can imagine, sketchy at best, which is why this is an April 1st article, and I do love it. But just, sharing a word or a word having similar meaning to a characteristic does not necessarily mean that a culture was there. Is not a sign of cultural contact. But the scary part of this article is, this very flimsy justification that I've just laid out there has been the basis for a number of archaeological and pseudo archaeological theories in the past, some of which have been very, very hurtful to a lot of people. And I'm not talking like hurtful like it is to me, where it's just, you're doing my job badly. Hurtful in the sense that it degrades and devalues the actual history and culture of an existing people.
Yeah, and a lot of times those comparisons that are drawn, the very flimsy ones, are usually there to try and project a theory or an ideology where normal substantive evidence is not present. One of which that really stands out to me is in North America, we have the Solutrean hypothesis, which is one of the early, yeah, Column's cringing. It's one of the early diffusal theories of North America, of how people came to North America and populated it. And the whole theory rests on the fact that there are spear points in the east coast of the United States of America and Canada that looks very similar to a Solutrean point that is found in France. So the theory is, because these two spears look identical, that people from France hopped on a boat and sailed across the Atlantic Ocean and populated the world that way, even though there's minimal substantive evidence, but they're both hunter-gatherer cultures that use a similar tool design and have similar foraging habits.
Yeah, it's that is a very very real and very devastating version of what is happening here. This article is obviously a openly facetious, having fun, poking fun at the idea of such theories. I believe we ourselves, for April Fools this year, published a similar video called "Did the Tuscan Raiders Colonize Fiji?"
The answer is yes.
Oh, right. For an
where
explains.
They
where we
did.
take
They
a
did, in
fictitious
fact.
culture and claim that they somehow inspired a real life uh people
And
millennia before that existed millennia before they were even conceived.
would you like to let the audience know who the lead scriptwriter on that episode was?
Hey man, I wrote it up. I know how to do my damn job, and I know how to do it
Our-
poorly.
God damn.
I am your average American office worker, and by God,
Oh no!
I will perform.
Poorly with an
Mediocrity at
asterisk
its
afterwards.
Mediocrity at best. But yes, in the spirit of that, I thought this article would be a good thing to talk about, having already released our own version of this sort of thing, to sort of explain, why, well, this is fun as a joke. There is, it is not good archaeology to perform, what is ordinarily good archaeology in a very poor way.
And I think you just wrapped it up beautifully. I think that's a good point for us to end it here, actually.
Yeah, that's so yeah, see you next time, everybody.
Bye.